And a good Monday midday to you, Roger Hill of Weathering Heights. This VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook is also brought to us by 802cars.com. It represents 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Looking at a drone picture here from last Friday prior to the incoming thunderstorm activity that moved across mainly southern parts of Vermont. But what you can see is you're starting to see a little bit of the poplars starting to show out, a little bit of leaf, and a lot of places still are not really seeing a whole lot. As I run this, you can kind of get the picture here. And as I head up toward the higher elevations here, we'll turn the corner to the right. This is Dumpling Hill. You can see that it's still pretty much stick season. This is approximately about almost 2,000 feet mean sea level, 1,900 feet and change. And what you can see is there's just no greenery taking place. Now, this is back on last Friday, but as you look toward the Worcester Range off to the sort of north and west here, we'll stop it right there. There we go. Okay, this is a part of the Worcester Range, and you can see that we have a long ways to go before complete leaf out, as leaf out will be slowly transitioning and climbing the hills to higher elevations. Still, we have a little bit of a fire issue probably, but it's not much. Currently across the U.S., you can see that we have one fairly strong storm system. It's kind of switched now from the east coast to the west coast, where the main action is going to be. Of course, we have Tropical Storm Arthur, and this is Arthur's track. It's going to be pulling away from the coast. Probably end up doing some kind of a loop-de-loop and something like that and out to sea. And we have another weather system. These two are kind of interacting, and this is also our controlling influence, an area of higher pressure, a nice ridge, and this is almost what we call a Rex block kind of setup, which is a very stable weather pattern. It does give us dry weather all week long through this entire period. It looks like this is going to go into it probably Memorial weekend, probably Saturday, maybe not all the way through Sunday. We'll have to wait and see. And Saturday is a little bit vulnerable. I would say that's the most uncertain day at this point. But very little, no precipitation, dry conditions, and temperatures gradually ramping up to above normal. Looking at the European model increments, we can see, of course, Tropical Storm Arthur here. This is our surface area of low pressure with its kind of a warm frontal boundary that's disintegrating on its eastern end, and loads of moisture, and, of course, our west coast storm. So running the computer modeling, you can see that Arthur takes a track kind of to a right turn, and then it gradually kind of does a loop-de-loop here. And keeping your eyes on Arthur, then kind of does fall apart. We'll see what happens. It could do a loop-de-loop and then take a track somewhere like that. And then back to the main issue here. Look at this area of higher pressure. This is our controlling influence, 1035 hectopascal. It's going to be kind of gradually controlling the influence of our weather pattern with sinking motion. That opens up the sky. No clouds as we get a little bit toward the middle part of the week. Tuesday, Wednesday look real sunny. Should spend a lot of solar irradiation and really good conditions for that. It does look like we'll see some high clouds as we get toward the weekend, but you can see that it's completely dry through this entire period. And what we do have is a little bit of lingering moisture in the middle Atlantic states, and they're going to see far different weather than what we're going to see, and it's almost like we've traded places here as well. Notice it's cold enough to snow actually well north of into the Canadian Maritimes, and good for them. But that ridging of higher pressure, kind of the Bermuda High, is still influencing. And now we're into basically Friday night. And as we head toward Saturday, you can still see we're not seeing any precipitation, although I'm betting that this is probably going to try to come north on us, and that could deliver some showers sometime over Memorial Day weekend. We'll have to wait and see on that. GFS and Canadian Ensemble data, you can see very little in the way of precipitation. We're just about zeroed out here. This has already passed, so no worries there. Look at all these days in a row. And then we get toward this coming weekend, and again, going back to the total QPF amounts, and we're talking 507 inch. That's what it's indicating at this point. This is a long ways out, of course. And Weather Prediction Center validates this very nicely over the course of the next 7 days. This is 100 of an inch, 2,500 of an inch, and so forth. This is basically zeroed out for us here up in northern New England. That's 850 temperature, but I do want to show you precipitable water. kind of gives you an indication here. Once we get past into the 22nd later in the week and toward this coming weekend, the precipitable water amounts do come up, implying a little bit more moisture. In terms of convection and CAPE, these are the only days we see. This is going into this weekend. And the other shear is going to be very low. So what will fire up, if there is anything, we're talking about 10, 15, 20 knots of shear, not a big deal there. There'll be very slow movers, which would suggest that any particular areas that do have thunderstorms or heavier rain showers will unload over a small area. Okay, back to temperatures we go, and you can see the progression of warmer, 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 and it is a nice time to see some spring conditions here in Vermont. We're looking at, this is the dew point temperatures. They get up close to 50 degrees once we get to the 23rd, 24th. This is, of course, late in the period or even beyond the period. And one other issue, let's look at the 850 hectopascal temperature, approximately a little bit higher than the top of Mount Mansfield. What you can see here is it's pretty chilly aloft, and those temperatures warm up. This is our dry period. It moistens up a little bit, and it warms up in the upper atmosphere. We're in that warming process, and then, of course, it starts to, we start to see that warming temperature right there. And we're talking a good 3 to 6 degrees above normal, maybe even trending toward 9 degrees above normal eventually as we head toward this weekend. So for temperature anomalies, you can see that it's kind of blotchy now, and there's equal coolness versus warmth. That's a good sign. We still have some high latitude blocking, colder in parts of Europe, but North America is still kind of singled out. Here's where we stand with the antecedent conditions in terms of precipitation through this winter and spring. So this is month to date, the last one. So you can see your counties here as Addison, Bennington, Caledonia, and so forth, ends with the W's Windsor. And, you know, taking a look at, you can see that Washington County, year to date, 1 month, 2 months, and so forth, you can see are basically above normal. The areas that we're looking at a deficient area of precipitation over the course of the last month is places like Franklin County. Bennington County has been running across the board below normal. Above normal in Caledonia. Chittenan's a little bit, most recently, a little drier, then wetter, and so forth. And you can see where basically you stand. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.